Just take a second to look at this image. You've got ancient temples right next to futuristic tech, traditional clothing, and yeah, that is a cybernetic T-Rex. This isn't just some random cool picture. Nope, it's actually a peek into a whole new creative wave that's coming out of Indonesia, a really fascinating movement that's connecting its ancient past with a truly digital future.
The whole spirit of this movement can kind of be summed up in one beautiful Indonesian phrase. Every story has its own way home. It's such a powerful idea, right? That no matter how far into the future our stories go, they're always looking for a way back to their roots.
So, what exactly is this new Indonesian story? Well, it's this recognition that there's a really powerful creative force at play here. It's like an alchemy, fusing this deep, rich cultural heritage with some serious high-tech imagination. It's all about artists and storytellers using the past not as, some dusty museum piece, but as a launchpad for what's next.
So how are they doing it? Well, creators are diving deep into the history of the Nusantara archipelago, which is that huge, sprawling island region of Southeast Asia that includes Indonesia. But here's the key. They are not just retelling old stories. They are fundamentally reimagining history. They're blending tradition with science fiction to create this living, breathing connection between their heritage and a possible future. To really get what this collision looks and feels like, let's just drop right into a story. This one's about a scientist. Her name's Alara, and she basically stumbles into a place where the rules of time have completely broken down. Okay, so put yourself in Alara's shoes for a second. You're a scientist from this hyper-advanced future, and your sensors are just going wild, picking up an energy signature that defies everything you know about physics. She says the reading isn't magnetic or gravitational. She describes it as something ancient, something alive, and it leads her here. There, at the temple, she meets a guardian who gives her this really cryptic explanation. He tells her that in this specific place, time isn't a straight line. It doesn't flow like a river from past to future. Instead, it branches out, twisting and connecting, kind of like the roots of a giant banyan tree, where all of history is touching at once. And just as her mind is reeling, trying to even process the idea of time branching like a tree, her entire scientific worldview is just shattered by an impossible sound. And then, an impossible sight. A dinosaur. It appears in the distance, and its roar echoes through the valley. And this is the paradox at the very heart of the story. Ilara is witnessing two totally separate eras just colliding. You've got the Cretaceous period, the age of dinosaurs, and the era of Indonesia's ancient Nusantara kingdoms. These two moments in history cannot exist at the same time. It's a complete historical impossibility. And we are not talking about a small gap here. These two periods are separated by a jaw-dropping 65 million years. Just let that sink in for a second. 65 million. This is a flat-out temporal impossibility. As a scientist, Ilara is scrambling for a term, any term, to describe what she's seeing. She calls it kerusakan realidati, which basically translates to a damage to reality. It's more than just a paradox. It's a sign that the very fabric of time has been ripped apart and history has literally folded in on itself. And in that exact moment, her entire purpose just shifts. She realizes the question isn't, how do I get home anymore? The question is now, how do I protect this? She came here as a scientist, just an observer, but now she has to become a guardian. Okay, so a story this wild. You've got dinosaurs, ancient kingdoms, futuristic science. It makes you wonder, right? How is something like this even created? I mean, where does an idea like this even come from? Well, the answer is in this really fascinating new creative process. It's a journey, and it starts by exploring and mapping out the incredibly rich heritage of Nusantara. Then, that knowledge is used to actively reimagine history. But the real breakthrough is harnessing new digital tools where, as one creator put it, every prompt is a new chapter. And the result is this incredibly powerful fusion of ancient tradition and speculative sci-fi. And this way of thinking completely reframes the role of technology. It's not just a tool anymore, something you use to execute an idea. No, it's treated as a true creative partner, a collaborator in the act of imagination itself. And that partnership is what allows for these brand new narratives that feel both deeply rooted in tradition and just unapologetically futuristic. Which, of course, brings us to a really big question. Is this all just fantasy, just a cool sci-fi story, or does this powerful creative energy actually have a real-world anchor somewhere? The answer, maybe surprisingly, takes us to the Indonesian region of Papua, and it's found in a project that just perfectly embodies this entire spirit of fusing ancient worlds with digital futures.
It's a real-world initiative, and it's called Kampung Mathematica, which translates to the Mathematics Village. At its core, it's a project focused on empowering a community through the universal languages of logic, math, and, you guessed it, code.
Get this. The project even has an anthem, a song that's basically its mission statement, and you can see the core ideas right here. Building a digital world right there in the village, using math as a solid foundation, and aiming for the stars, all starting from their home in Papua. This line from their anthem is just so powerful, computer language full of meaning. This is the key. It's all about seeing code not just as a technical skill, but as a new language for storytelling, a new way to build futures and express really profound ideas. And this line just brilliantly connects everything back to our sci-fi story. The project's philosophy is, with imagination, our knowledge shines. It's the exact same principle. When you combine knowledge, whether it's science or math or history, with imagination, that's when incredible things start to happen. And make no mistake, this isn't just about local education. The ambition here is cosmic. From Papua Village towards the stars. That's a powerful declaration. It's a direct challenge to the idea that innovation only comes from big, established hubs. It's proof that world-changing dreams can launch from anywhere. So when you put it all together, you can really see it, can't you? The fantastical story of Alara and the real-world ambition of Campo Mathematica. They're really just two sides of the same coin. One fuses ancient kingdoms with sci-fi, the other fuses local culture with digital literacy. But they're both about creating a new future from the richness of the past. And that really is the ultimate takeaway. The anthem ends with, "We dream big. From the Papua village, we all shine." This creative fusion that's happening in Indonesia isn't just about cool tech or history lessons. It's a story about human potential. It's about using new tools to build a brighter, more inclusive future, and proving that with imagination and a real connection to your roots, you can shine from absolutely anywhere on Earth. So, what story would you tell if you could fuse your past with the future?